Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome everybody. We're here live in Plymouth for our second Facebook Live event. I'm Alison Parker and I'm one of the assessment team managers. And we have Selena Manning, one of the assessment social workers here with us, and our adopter, Darren, who's going to be answering questions. Okay, so we're going to be talking more about adoption here this evening, and now Selena's going to talk.
Okay, so we are here from 7 o'clock till 7:15, but we will continue online to answer questions until 7:30 if we've got lots of questions coming in.
So our session this evening is, again, we're going to be talking about adoption, but we have Darren here who's going to answer some questions regarding LGBTQ plus, and talking about the benefits of adopting, which we hope that those of you who are watching tonight will be hopeful to come forward to adopt.
So how do you send your comments in? So you can either use the comment section online now to the Facebook Live feed, and be aware your Facebook name will appear, or by direct message through Facebook Messenger, where we'll see your message and will not mention your name, but answer your message live.
So in terms of adoption, what is adoption? So adoption is a way of providing the security and permanency and the love of a new family when it's not possible for that child to be raised by his or her birth parents within their own birth family. After adoption, all rights and responsibilities are transferred from the original parents to the adoptive parents. The child assumes the new surname of the adoptive parents, and they receive an adoption certificate to replace their original birth certificate, and they become a permanent member of your family. We believe that the stability of a forever family gives children the best possible chance of realising their full potential. Adopting a child means committing to that child for life. It's a way of making a real difference to them by giving them the love, stability and safe, nurturing environment every child deserves. Training and support will be provided to you to help prepare for adoption, and support is provided after adoption.
So just a reminder of how to send your comments in. You can either do it now on the Facebook Live feed, or you can do it through Facebook Messenger. So on to LGBTQ myths. So the big myth we hear about is I can't adopt because I'm gay. Whether you are heterosexual, LGBTQ plus, lesbian or gay, it's not a factor in your right to adopt. There is no such thing as the ideal or perfect adoptive family. We're interested in what you have to offer a child who needs adopting, rather than your marital status, finances, whether you own your own home or already have children. So you can read our Can I Adopt webpage on our website at adoptsouthwest.org.uk. So have you got any questions? Let us know by commenting now.
So we have Darren here tonight, and Darren and his partner talked about being parents for a while, and they talked about surrogacy but felt that adoption was the right route for them to give a child a loving home. So welcome, Darren. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
So what was the biggest concern for you before adopting?
I think the biggest concern is like every parent, whether you have your own natural child or whether you adopt, it's kind of like, how do you do it? Nobody kind of gives you a manual to say this is how you become a parent. For us as well, we talked a lot about adoption before we went down that route, and we came to an information evening. So I would say that if anyone out there is wanting to find out about adoption, or they've got a little inkling, that's a really good way to start. And I know on the Adopt Southwest page, it tells you when those dates are. So really kind of like look at those dates. And if you've got a little bit of an inkling that you would like to find out more, then definitely go along to those meetings. Being a same-sex couple, we were kind of a little bit kind of dubious how other people would kind of perceive that. But I've got to say that our support network, our friends, our family, our workmates, our colleagues have just been incredible. And we believe and they believe that it doesn't matter if a child has a mum and a dad, or two mums or two dads, or single adopters, or single parents. Then as long as that child is in a nurturing and loving environment, that's actually all that matters. And that's the biggest thing. So the myths around whether you're a same-sex couple or on your own, they are myths, and we haven't faced any prejudice at all with regards to going through the process, and everyone's been so supportive, and everyone sometimes has that little look when you're walking through town and you've got your little one with you, and what's going on there then? Why are there two guys? But actually everyone is so supportive. So yeah, we had some big worries, but very, very quickly they were eradicated.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So did you feel well supported, and did you raise any LGBTQ concerns during the assessment process? Was it good? How was it for you?
Yeah. So after we came to an information evening, we then were a social worker. We put in a registration of interest. We went away a little bit to start with and had a little discussion about it, because I think the real important thing is for all adopters is that if you're a couple, both of you have to be on board. That's so important. So we came in and we had we heard the talk, and it took us a little bit of a couple of weeks really just to kind of put in some interest or registration of interest, and very quickly we were assigned a social worker, and our social worker put us to E straight away, and we never ever felt that just because we were a same-sex couple that we weren't able to adopt. It was very clear right from the beginning that it doesn't matter your family makeup, it doesn't matter your situation at home. And we were very supportive, and we never actually raised any concerns because we were put at ease right from day one.
That's brilliant.
So what impact has adoption had on your lives?
I've got to say that before you're a parent, it's really, really difficult, because you kind of don't experience that love, the love for a child. So it's had a massive, massive impact on our life. We love our little one completely unconditionally. He's literally changed our lives, but for the better. Like, it's just incredible, and just to be able to see him already kind of like picking up lots of our morals and the way that we are is just incredible. So yeah, I'm not going to lie, it's hard work, but it's hard work being a parent. As I say, there isn't a manual, but I've got to say it's been the most rewarding thing that both of us have done, and we just wake up in the morning with a huge smile on our face, and just love being around him. It's brilliant. It's really changed our lives, and as I say, if you have got that passion that you want to go out and do that, then I would definitely advocate for it, because it's amazing.
Thank you.
So what is the most rewarding aspect of adopting?
I think the fact that you're making a huge difference on a child's life. I've got to say that lots of people say it's going to be amazing for the child, that they're going to be able to have a second chance in life, and they're going to be able to be in a loving family. But actually, it's also amazing for us as well. I think we forget that sometimes. It's amazing to be parents. I think just literally seeing the progress, and we did adopt a very young child, and just being able to see that child go through those development phases. I know that you've been a massive part of that. So like the first time they talk, the first time they walk, the first time they say daddy, it's just the most rewarding. There's nothing quite like it, and being able to be part of those milestones are really important. Obviously, lots of people might be interested in adopting older children, which is great too. And then you'll also have those milestones like going to secondary school, choosing a career as they get older. But being able to share those key milestones with your little one, and knowing that you've had a massive impact on that, is just so rewarding.
And you talked a bit about what makes you smile, waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
And if your partner was here, would he be saying exactly the same?
Yeah, completely. And it's just our little one has got the most amazing sense of humour. He, for a little boy, he's just got an incredible sense of humour, and that just makes us smile, because that's kind of us in a sense, and just kind of seeing our traits being replicated almost really makes us smile. And also, we're very much kind of on the whole please and thank you thing. So we've been brought up really well, and actually to hear when our little one goes to nursery, to hear the comments back from his key worker that he always says please and he always says thank you. That just makes you smile, because it's like, actually you've had that impact, and that's just amazing. There's nothing better. Yeah.
Right. And how old was your little one when you adopted him?
Okay, so he was just over 12 months old when we adopted him. We did want to go down a route called foster for adoption, which I know that you've talked about before in your lives, your Facebook lives. However, when we were given the child's profile, we absolutely fell in love with his story and with him. So yeah, he was 12 months when, yeah, a really lovely age, just at that age where they're starting to talk, they're starting to walk, and you can really share those, as I say, those development milestones with them. Yeah.
So what is your advice to prospective adopters?
So my advice is that, obviously I've already said it and I'm going to say it again, so if you're out there and you really are wanting to adopt, then get along, see these guys. They're absolutely brilliant. They can give you lots more information. So that's the first thing that I'd say, that if you're wanting to be a prospective adopter, get out there and get the information that you need. There are some other groups on Facebook that you can join as well, to hear about other people's stories. So that's really, really important. But Adopt Southwest website is a really good place to start, and there's lots of different stories. So I'd say that to start with. I'd say it's about being open and honest throughout the process. Everyone's got a past. People do worry about it being intrusive. I'm going to be honest with you, it is intrusive. Our social worker knows more about us than what our parents know about us, and that can be a little bit kind of worrying, but actually it's done in a really supportive way. So, but it is about being open and honest right from the start, and telling your social worker the truth, really. And actually, if you have gone through things in the past, everyone has, it just makes you stronger, but it's also an opportunity for you to reflect on it and think about how that shaped your life and how that might support a young child who's been adopted. I would say the biggest thing for us is about your support network, and what we've been very lucky is to make friends with lots of adopters. So people who are going through the process, people who are adopters, and we're really good friends with them now, and that's going to be amazing for our little one as they grow up, to know that there are other children who are adopted with different family makers, but also a real support for us as well. We're able to talk to those different adopters, so that's been the biggest, I would say. Sometimes the process can seem really long, but actually you do get in there in the end. You have to be really resilient. There are times where, you might be hearing something that you don't want to hear, and you might have to go off and do a little bit of research or find a bit of information about. But it is about being resilient, because it is really worth it. You do get knockdowns. We got knockdowns through the process, but it's about brushing yourself off and thinking, actually, how am I going to move on from this? And I think that end goal is definitely worth it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. We got any
questions
coming in?
Anything? No, it's all. We've obviously been very informative.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the key message is, if you're interested in adopting, please do make contact with Adopt Southwest. As we said earlier, we hold a number of information sessions throughout the region. So there are regular events where you can book in. We have a advice and support line, which is run Monday to Friday, and we have an assessment worker who will also be able to answer questions on a daily basis. And if you email into Adopt Southwest, we'll also email you back. So please do contact us if you want some more information or you want to book onto an information session.
I've got a couple of questions.
Have you? Lovely.
So someone has asked, can you adopt if you don't own your own home?
You can indeed. So if you are renting, we'll obviously check out that you hold a secure tenancy. But again, no, you don't need to own your own home. We have a variety of situations where you may be living with another family member, and again, we'll talk that through in terms of your assessment process. But there really are very limited barriers in terms of adopting, in terms of accommodation. You do need to have spare room for the child. That is a requirement.
Another question, do you have any children's book recommendations that reflect an LGBTQ family?
Yep, so there is a really good book which is called This Is My Family. Actually, one of my colleagues gave it to me this week to read to my little one. And it's not just with regards to LGBTQ+, it's to do with all families. So it's very much, families can be big, families can be small, families can be different colours, families can be the same colour. Some families adopt, some families have two mummies, two daddies. And our little one is obsessed with that book. I had to give it back to my colleague now, but it's one that we'll definitely be purchasing. There's also a really nice book called Two Dads. I think Will Young, the pop star, has actually shared that book before, actually on Jackanory or CBBS. And there's also a really nice one, again, I'm sorry I don't know the name of it, but it's about two penguins who have two dads. And it's a really lovely book. But there are lots and lots of books around. Plus there are lots and lots of books about adoption. So you just need to think about stories like Matilda, for example. So there's lots of stories out there, not just about LGBTQ+, but also about adoption, which you can read with your children.
Core and Bath have on their website have information about books that are regarding adoption and fostering for children and adults as well. So it's probably worthwhile looking on there.
And how do you spell that, Selena? Core and Bath?
Core and Bath is CORAMBAAF. coreandbath.org.
And again, if you've got children already in the household and you're thinking about adopting, again, there are books that we could talk through, give you some advice to talk through your own children and whether they're adopted or whether they're your birth children. And the social worker can also give advice as well during the assessment process.
We've had a question come through into the inbox. Are same-sex couples encouraged to come forward and adopt?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
welcome. Yeah. And anybody, whether you're same sex, whether you're mixed sex, whether you're a single adopter, we want to hear from you. So please contact us at the Adopt Southwest on the web page. There is information there about how to get through to us, and we can take your information over the phone if you phone in, and you can speak to an adoption social worker as well on duty, or you can download the information pack from the Adopt Southwest website.
Another question has come through. Is it possible to adopt if you are on benefits?
Yes, you can. Well, we will look at your finances as part of the assessment. But again, it will be looking at how you're going to manage when the child is placed with you, and in terms of, particularly your ingoings and outgoings, and just so you've considered what you might need to spend on the child. But no, in terms of your income, that's not a barrier.
And someone else has asked that can you adopt if you work for the local authority, in brackets children's services, for example?
Yes, you can. We have, in terms of confidentiality, we will maintain your confidentiality regarding adoption. If there was any specific reason that there were any difficulties, we would talk that through with you and looked about how we could manage that best for your set of circumstances. Again, we have looked at particularly around training. If you were concerned about attending our local training, we have used our partner agencies training. So again, there are lots of ways that we can manage your individual circumstance.
No other questions at the moment.
Lovely. So, I mean, I think in terms of tonight, because this is our second Facebook Live event, is what we want to do is we want to raise the profile of adoption. It is, we are very passionate about what we do as a job, and Darren's obviously very positive about, his adoption. But again, we know that there are a number of people out there who are probably considering adoption and thinking, maybe this, I can't do that because of this, and they might look negatively against me. Please don't think that. Please just come and contact us. Sadly, there are children waiting and they are waiting for adopters to come forward. So we do really need adopters to come forward and adopt a number of children we have waiting, right from very small babies. Sibling groups is a real need for us. We really want to place siblings together. We have children with disabilities and other complex needs. So we do really want adopters to come forward for our children waiting.
Perfect. So I guess any final words from you, Darren, at all about adopting and your experience?
Yeah, I think it's just reiterating what I said and what Alison's just said, that if any part of you is thinking that you'd like to adopt, whether you're a same-sex couple, a heterosexual couple, whether you're single, then have a look on the Adopt Southwest website, come along to an information evening, and I've got to say it's the most amazing thing that we've done, and like there's no going back, and we would consider to do it again because we were so well supported. So look onto the Facebook page, have a look at your next information evening, and give these guys a message and get yourself along to it.
Okay, thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.